Path Media. I was a minimum wage movie theater usher that made good and became a top earner in my network marketing company. Now, after 16 plus years in the profession, I'm finally teaching myself how to leverage the internet with online marketing and social media marketing to continue to grow and expand my business. My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about niching down. That's right, niching down or niching down. I'm not really even sure which one it is. If you know that there's definitively a correct version of that word, let me know, because I've never known. I've always said niche because it just comes more naturally to me. It sounds right in my head. And so that's what we're going to go with for today's episode. Niching down. I think it's an important topic. It's been on my mind a lot recently, especially as I start to roll out my, my programs and the different master classes that I have planned for this year. I know that I'm niching down, right? I started this journey 12 months ago, very generalized. I didn't think I was very generalized. I thought I had a specific niche that I wanted to go after, but teaching myself online marketing and diving into this, now that I have a higher proficiency at it, I have a higher knowledge base and skill base at it. Now I know how better to use that knowledge base and that skill base in regards to the particular niches that I want to get into and that I want to communicate with. So, I thought, I didn't know that I was being very generalized at the beginning, but as I've gotten, over time, acquired the knowledge base and the skill base, I'm definitely starting to niche down as I release and roll out my programs. So niching is important, and I think that's the consensus across the board. From all the coaches and the experts that I listen to, they say, okay, it's important to niche down, because if I did an episode about this a few months ago, if you go for everybody, you'll get nobody, right? So you don't want to be too generalized, because you end up not getting an audience. So same thing with your niche, right? You want to niche down. That's not necessarily a conversation I want to have today, though. I want to talk about what I think is or can be the misconception about niching down and the process to get there, right? I think we approach niching down from a creation standpoint, and I say creation. When I say creation, I mean like creating something new, right? I think we have a tendency to want to be new and innovative and groundbreaking, to stand out from what we feel is an overcrowded market. And it's really not, right? Like I talked about that as well. There's no such thing as an overcrowded market, but it can feel that way, right? Like especially the online space, it can feel overcrowded. It can feel like there's a million people already talking about the thing that you wanted to talk about. And so the knee-jerk reaction is, okay, let me think of something new and different and innovative that nobody's talking about yet. And so as opposed to niching down, what you end up actually doing is unknowingly you're working to create a niche. And that's all well and good. And I'm not saying that won't work. However, you won't know until you get it on the ground or get it on its feet and start producing content for your niche. You won't know whether or not the market has an actual need for the niche that you've just created, right? So our concept of niching down, it's kind of backwards, right? Again, it's not to say that you can't create a niche. I mean, people have very much, in the past, people have done that very successfully, but I think those are unicorn situations. And what ends up happening is if, you go for unicorns, if that's the only thing that you're going for, you generally speaking, you won't find one, right? If you're hunting for a unicorn, you're generally not going to find one. So it's better to approach it from looking at what's going on in the marketplace and seeing where the needs are and develop your niche from there. Like you always want to address a need in the marketplace. You always want to, present a solution for people. Because again, if you're doing it the other way around, if you're creating a niche, the market doesn't know that they need whatever it is that you're creating. Right. And so your work is twice as hard. You have to do, 2 times the amount of things. Not only do you have to create that niche, but you have to convince people that they need it. Right. As opposed to already addressing and answering a need that they know in their mind they already have. Right. That's for me, strategically, I think is a smarter way of finding your niche. Again, it's not to say that the other way doesn't work. It's just your chances and your likelihood of success are it's night and day between the two approaches. So just think about it in that terms, right? When you hear niching down, have you created your niche, and are you creating a need, or are you addressing a need? That's really what it boils down to. And really be careful of being too narrow with your niche. I understand the need and the desire to want to stand out, but doing it this way, you're just going to end up getting lost in all the noise, because people don't know or don't even care about the niche that you created, because it's not pertinent to what they're going through and their own particular experience, right? It's not on their radar. It's simply not on their radar. So that's just my opinion. Again, it's not that unicorns don't exist, but they're few and far between. So I think you'd be better off identifying the need and then niching down from there. Right? So that's my perspective on the niche. I don't know whether you agree with me or not. Let me know. We can have further discussions about this in our community page, or of course you can reach out to me directly on the different socials. But our Facebook community, Path of the Network Marketer on Facebook, is definitely the best place to have continuing conversations outside of this podcast. So come check us out. I'll leave a link in the show notes of this episode. It's facebook.com/groups/Path of the Network Marketer. But that's going to be the topic for today. More from me tomorrow. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.